Hi everyone, this is Brian with Anderson Pens, and on today's episode of My Favorite Pens, we're going to talk about the Esterbrook Mammoth Falcon. Let's take a look. Okay, so here we have a couple examples of an Esterbrook Falcon nib. And Falcon really, you may hear that term, and it really applies to the shape of the nib, not so much what the pen does, but it has the shape here that's consistent amongst all pens. You will see this design in other manufacturers. Other nib makers would have pens called Falcon nibs. Even Waterman had a nib that was shaped like a falcon. But Esterbrook was quite famous for their Falcon nib. This is the 048 Falcon pen, which later became the 2048 and the 9048 Renew Points. It was a popular pen for business use, and nice. And you can see it's a fairly decent size in this one. But they made them in two other sizes. Well, this would have been the standard Falcon box, and you see these boxes all day long, the black and red. This is a box for the ladies' Falcon pen. This is an earlier box, marked Philadelphia, and it's got the number on this side. 182 is the number of the pen. All their pens were numbered. And let's take Lady Falcon out. This way we can compare all of them. And the ladies' Falcon, for whatever reason, is much, much smaller. It's just a tiny little thing. At the time, a lot of women were using very small, dainty mother-of-pearl handled dip pens. A lot of people in general are using them. So apparently they felt the need to have a smaller Falcon nib by comparison. But the big daddy of them all is the number 340, and that is the Mammoth Falcon nib. It's an exceptionally large nib. There's not a whole lot of nibs that are quite this size. And if we want to compare it to something we may be reasonably familiar with, let's take a look at a Mont Blanc 149. There's the difference. And 149 is generally accepted as being one of the larger nibs on modern pens. And this thing is just, it's huge. It's quite a large nib. In fact, it's as large as many caps. Now, to go along with that, Esterbrook made a very special holder, because obviously this end of the pen is quite wide, and most of the holders at the time were fairly small and dainty. So Esterbrook came out with a special holder for the Mammoth Falcon. So on it says Esterbrook and Company Mammoth Falcon. Now the holder is even more scarce than the nib itself. Nice wood taper on there, and this guy just slides in there, and there you go. You've got the whole package. Exceptionally hard to find. The nibs they're hard to find, but the holder almost impossible. In all my years of collecting, this is the only Mammoth Falcon holder I've ever seen. But it's huge. It's a very large holder, and you can just imagine somebody writing with this pen. And it's just a huge, it's mammoth. There's no other word to describe it. And of course, it has some spring to it, as a lot of the Esterbrook nibs did, and that's assisted by these special slits here on either side. And that allows the middle part of the the nib to move without moving the whole piece. But an interesting piece of history. They came in a special box, of course, which I've only ever seen one, and someday I'll add it to my collection. But it had a neat graphic on it. But I mean, look at this holder, this neat little end here. Just a great piece of writing history. Nice solid piece of wood here. But that really completes the family for Esterbrook's Falcons, the Mammoth Falcon. So there you have it, the Esterbrook Mammoth Falcon, one of my favorite pens. Be sure to catch us online at andersonpens.com, our store in Appleton, Wisconsin, or at any number of pen shows nationwide.